Have you ever had that feeling, you really want to learn something new, but you're just paralyzed by the pressure to get it perfect right out of the gate? Well, today we're going to talk all about the power of side projects. And let's be clear, this isn't about adding more work to your plate. It's about finding your personal key to unlock some real, meaningful growth.
I mean, it's a question we all wrestle with, right? That fear of messing up, of failing. It can stop you dead in your tracks before you even start. But what if, just what if, we could totally reframe how we think about failure? What if failing was actually part of the plan all along? And that's exactly what a side project is. It's not about your job. It's not about impressing your boss. Think of it as this little bubble you create for yourself. A safe space where you can experiment, where you can learn without serious consequences, and where you can actually turn those so-called mistakes into your most powerful lessons. Okay, so let's dive into our first big idea here. You need to start treating your side project like your own personal learning playground. Seriously, this isn't about producing some flawless, finished product. It's a space that is designed purely for you to grow. Think about it like this. A side project lets you experiment totally freely, almost like a scientist in a lab, just mixing ideas together without worrying about some big explosion. You get to play with new tools, new skills, stuff you'd probably never touch at work. And this freedom, well, it does two amazing things. First, it lets you map out totally new ideas. But more importantly, it builds resilience. Every single little mistake becomes a top-tier lesson, building up the confidence you need to tackle even bigger problems down the road. So, you're sold. You're ready to build this playground. But now for the big question. What in the world are you actually going to build? The absolute key here is to find the right kind of challenge, something that really pushes you. And here's a fundamental truth for you. If you just stick to what you already know how to do, you're not actually growing. You're just practicing. Real innovation, that spark of creativity, it's born from pushing yourself just a little bit beyond what you think you can do. This quote just nails it. To truly grow, you have to pick a project where you don't already have all the answers. You have to deliberately, on purpose, add some unknowns into the mix. That feeling of discomfort, that uncertainty, that's not a sign you're failing. That's what actual growth feels like. So here's the crucial pro tip. Since you're going to be wading into all these unknowns, you're going to need fuel. And the best kind of fuel, hands down, is genuine enthusiasm. Pick a problem you can't stop thinking about, or a piece of tech that just fascinates you. That excitement is what's going to carry you through when things get tough. And speaking of tough spots, let's talk about something that is absolutely essential to this whole process: the struggle. You see, everybody hits a wall, but very few people see that wall for what it really is. It's a gift. Seriously. Hitting that wall doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're on exactly the right path. Let's be totally honest here. There are going to be moments where you are completely and utterly stuck. You'll feel frustrated, and that little voice in your head telling you to just quit is going to get really, really loud. That is a completely normal, 100% expected part of the journey. This is where you need a major mindset shift. The feeling of being stuck, it's not a roadblock. It's an opportunity. It's the universe basically handing you a chance to stop learning from a book and start building real, tangible, hands-on experience. And the payoff for pushing through that struggle is, well, it's huge. In fact, it's 100%. 100% of your most valuable, most memorable lessons will come directly from this process, from trial and error. Not from the stuff that went right the first time, but from the problems you had to really wrestle with to solve. Okay, so struggling on your own is powerful, for sure. But if you really want to put your growth into overdrive, you need to open up the gates to your playground and let other people in. This is where something called the feedback loop comes in. The feedback loop is your secret weapon. The steps are super simple. First, you build something, anything, that you can actually show another human being. It does not have to be perfect. Next, you ask for their honest thoughts. But the final step is the most critical. You have to actually listen. The goal here isn't to defend what you made, it's to absorb a whole new perspective. Because look, feedback, or a code review if you're a developer, it's not just about making things look a little nicer or fixing a typo. It is a deep dive into your entire thought process. It's about someone else looking at how you solved a problem and helping you see brand new, maybe even better, ways to solve it in the first place. And all of this brings us to our final, and maybe the most liberating section of all. It's time to draw a big, clear line in the sand between your day job and your side project.
This little chart says it all, doesn't it? At work, everything is driven by deadlines and reducing risk. You're often just focused on delivering a polished final product. But in your side project, freedom is the goal. It's a true playground where the entire point isn't perfection. It's exploration, it's taking risks, and it's all about the learning.
So, after all that, there's really only one question left. It's time to stop just thinking about it and actually start doing it. Forget about perfection, embrace the struggle, and go build your own playground. So, what challenge will you choose to explore first?